Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be talking about products that I've hit pan on in the year of 2019. I am over halfway through my low buy, so I've been using a lot of products that I have in my collection, and I've noticed through the months that I've just been hitting pan on one thing here and one thing there. Pretty much I've hit pan on at least one thing per month, and I've been super excited about it. I did not do an official project pan just because I've been doing pretty consistent shop my stashes, although this month is going to be, it kind of got merged to next month because it was a little bit easier for me because I was out of town, the dates got switched. It was a whole thing, so I just decided to go ahead and move it and just kind of take 1 month off from Shop My Stash to make it a little bit easier on me because I wanted this to be fun and not stressful. But I didn't do an official project pan. I've just been using what I had, and I'm kind of like, what I hit pan on, I'll hit pan on. And I noticed I had quite a list of things, so I thought I would go ahead and share them with y'all. I've hit pan on 9 things so far this year, and unfortunately 2 of those are in the same palette that I cannot find for the life of me. I have been loving the brow palette in the shade light to medium from Profusion Cosmetics. I'll try and leave a picture on screen if I can find myself talking about it in a video recently, but I literally was like scourging everything that I have here and I cannot find that brow palette because I've been like going back and forth between different products for brows and just trying to switch it up, but I cannot find it for the life of me. So I'm so sorry I can't show it to you, but I'll try and throw a picture on screen if I can screenshot it from one of my videos. But I've hit pan on 2 different brow powders in there that I mix because I like to go with the lighter one on the front half of my brow and then the darker one on the second half, the outer half of my brow. Geez. But like I said, I'm constantly switching up my brow routine. It doesn't stay the same for very long, and literally I've noticed in my Instagram pictures my brows look different in like every single picture because I'm always doing something different or a different color or a different technique, or I fill them in more or fill them in less. Like I am so inconsistent when it comes to my brows. But anyways, the next product that I've hit pan on that I can show you is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Taupe, which looks like this, and I actually had already hit pan on the darker half, but then I hit pan on the lighter half, and unfortunately I tried to repress it and it worked for a little bit, but then it broke again. It's broken twice now, and honestly, like the amount of product in here, like it was like there was like a whole hole and it was like going underneath and it would just break if I used it at all. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and mix the deeper and the lighter shade together and just make it one brow product so I can keep using it. So this is again kind of a fail because I can't really show you the pan I hit, but the pan was pretty legit before it broke twice. So really excited about my usage of that. Alright, so next I've hit pan on 3 different highlighters, which I think is really exciting. So the first one is the Nikki Tutorials and Ofra collaboration in the shade Glazed Donut. This is so perfect for winter and for super pale skin. If you do not have super pale skin, I wouldn't recommend this. Even with me, I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit much and I'll use it as a topper shade. But this was my first like really glowy highlighter. I absolutely love it. I really want to do a video on my Ofra highlighter collection soon just because I feel like they are so perfect for fair skin. But you can see there is the little pan peeking through right there. So I guess I kind of favor it. That's the part where I really put my brush in, but I'm kind of slowly hitting pan, but it's kind of crazy because there's just so much product left all around. But there's a little bit of pan, so I don't know why I'm over explaining this, but super excited because I love that highlighter. And then next, again from Ofra, because I absolutely love their highlighters. I think this might be my all-time favorite highlighter in pressed form. This is Pillow Talk, which just looks like this. The packaging is broken. I've got it held with tape, but it works. It stays together. I still travel with it. I don't care. So here's what my Pillow Talk looks like. Basically like the same amount of pan going on there, but I absolutely love this highlighter. It is the most beautiful icy pink shade. Should I swatch it? Should I be swatching the things that I'm talking about? Maybe I should. Here, I'll swatch. Let me grab a little bit of Glazed Donut. There's Glazed Donut. There's Pillow Talk. You can see it just has the tiniest little bit of icy pinkness to it, but it is so stunning. And then the last highlighter that I've hit pan on, I'm actually really excited about this one because there's a lot of pan here. Well, actually, let me take that back. There's not that much pan. This is the Lovelux Beauty See Me From Space Drenched Highlighter Palette, and I absolutely love the shade Heliocentric, which looks like this, which, I mean, there's a decent amount of pan, but the thing is here that there is like a giant like dent in this, and so I just recently hit pan, and like the next time I used it there was even more pan. Like the amount of pan has grown substantially every time I use it because this entire part. Like, I'm sure the pan is going to be huge in no time because it's not like, how do I explain this? Sometimes when you hit pan, it's like you dip your brush into that one spot over and over and over again, where this is like that entire center is just been used. It's not just like that tiny little bit in the middle, it's all of it. So I love this shade, but I'm kind of like, maybe I should take a little break on you because I don't want to hit pan, or I don't want to use it up and then not have it because it's only available in a palette. That would definitely stink. But here's Heliocentric. It's more of a gold. Isn't that funny? I like have all my bases covered with those 3 highlighters right there. So absolutely love all of them. So excited for the progress that I'm making there. Okay, so the next thing that I've hit pan on, I feel like this is pretty easy for most people to hit pan on, but it takes me forever. This is the Physicians Formula Powder Foundation in the shade Translucent. I never use powder foundations. I use them so rarely. The only time I use this normally is if I'm doing some type of like face swatch video where, or like if I do a highlighter and then I'll like wipe the highlighter off and then I'll like lightly powder over my face so that it kind of looks put together still, and then maybe I'll throw a little extra bronzer on. I'll use this for that so that it adds a little bit of coverage back in, but I'm not like going cream powder. It's just adding a little bit of powder on top. Or I'll use it when I do lip swatches. Whenever my lips start getting like super red around the outside, I'll take my sponge and I'll just like dab. I'll close my lips and just try and kind of cover up the redness a little bit with this. I rarely use this for setting my face just because I have dry skin and I don't really like to set my face all that much. I normally only take a little bit of powder on like the high points of my face. I don't really want the extra coverage, so basically, is long story short, it takes me forever to use this. This was the only powder foundation that I had, but I recently just got another one in PR, so now I have something else to use whenever I finish this up eventually. But here's what it looks like. It is just, I mean, it's affordable, it's drugstore, it's a good shade for me, which is kind of what drew me in to try this in the first place. You can see it pretty much blends right into my skin tone, so I don't know, I wasn't expecting to hit pan on it. It was kind of like, oh, okay. And then, I don't know, I'm excited about the progress again, using stuff up. I have a ton of makeup empties to do a video on, but I kind of put it off because I feel like no one likes to watch empties. I do. I think that they're so informative, but for some reason no one likes them. People just want to hear about what's new, not what's old, so. Alright, so now for shadows that I've hit pan on. I did hit pan in 2 shades in the Lorac Pro palette, which I used in a Shop My Stash, but then I just realized that it's not my style and it's just so old that I decided to go ahead and move it into like my I decided to go ahead and move it into my nostalgic bucket of makeup, where it's just makeup that makes me feel some kind of type of way, but it's too old for me to actually use. So that's where it's living now. I'm not even going to take it back out. It doesn't matter that I've hit pan on it because I'm not going to be using those anymore. But I did hit pan on one single shadow, and this is Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek, which I'm pretty sure this is one of the oldest single shadows I own. So finally making progress in it. And I mean, it's just a tiny little baby pan, but it is a really beautiful shade. It's still super soft after all this time. So there is Shimma Shimma. I bet I could use that as a face highlight too, and I would really like it. I don't know if I've ever used that as a face highlight now that I think about it. Okay, last but not least is a product that is extremely hard to hit pan on, in my opinion. I feel like bronzers and blushes are the absolute hardest to use up because, I don't know, they just keep going and going and going. They're like the Energizer Bunny of makeup. It's so hard. Like, I've never hit pan on a blush before. I think I hit pan on a bronzer in the past from Rimmel like a long time ago, before I even knew how to use bronzers. So I don't even want to know how I hit pan on that. I don't even want to think about it too much. It's a little bit cringy, but this is kind of a funny story. So I have my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer here, which you can see there is now panning, and I have been using this same bronzer for the longest time, like a ridiculous amount of time. Let me just swatch it for you. It's just a really soft light shade. This is just bronzer. I don't have light bronzer, just bronzer, and it's one of my favorite bronzers. I just feel like it's so effortless. So I actually brought this with me on vacation. I think it was in my Shop My Stash for June, and I've just been using it because I love it. And like I said, I've been using it so long, so consistently. Like, it's ridiculous how much and how many times I've used this bronzer and not hit pan. And so I was sitting there on the floor with my son, and he pulled out my makeup bag, and he loves to like pretend and do brushes on my face. Like, he'll pretend because he sees me do it, so he wants to mimic it. And normally I'm like, don't touch mommy's makeup, but I think I might have been responding to like an email or something. For some reason, I wasn't being fully attentive to him, but I mean, he was right there beside me. I was just on my phone doing something, and he was putting bronzer on my face, and I looked over and he just like kind of tapped in, so I thought, no big deal, he's barely using any. He starts putting bronzer all over my cheek, and then I look over again and I'm like, did he just hit pan on my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer? He did. He did. I've probably used this hundreds of times, and the one time he plays in it, like I said, he barely even touched it. He wasn't going ham in it or anything. He hits pan. I'm like, you stole my moment. You stole my moment from me of being like, oh my god, I hit pan on the first bronzer in years. So I just thought it was funny because he just... How ironic, but I hit pan. I mean, it's just a little tiny baby pan, but I'm sure it will be expanded more and more. I don't know what more to say about it. I'm just excited that I'm using makeup up, and it definitely helps to not have been buying so many foundations and I don't know, all the stuff over time, which I do have different products that you can't really hit pan on that I've been doing well with, like my Makeup Revolution one. That's all that's left. I've been using my BH Cosmetics concealer, which whenever you close it, it gets air in it. But I have to like literally, you can see, I can squeeze the entire thing before stuff comes out. I've been using it like consistently every day. That's kind of a mess, but I'm just gonna deal with that later. I haven't been using this as much lately, but I got to the point where my P. Louise base was flattening out, which I'm very excited to end up finishing and using up because I have a new favorite. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it was just a nice little quick one. I just wanted to share my progress with y'all, even though it wasn't official by any means, and it was just things I hit pan on without planning. My unplanned project pan, that's what I could call this. Probably not, though. I'll just call it not project anything. Products I hit pan on in 2019, because I'm lame and I like clear cut titles. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.